Thank you, Mr. Williams. Good afternoon to everyone, listeners, viewers in radio and TV land, and persons viewing via the internet. I'm the Commissioner of Corrections of Her Majesty's Prison. I know there have been persons in the general public who have been asking questions about social distancing. Can we do social distancing in the prison? No. We cannot do any social distancing in the prison in terms of the inmate. Our prison is such a small prison, being built way back in 1840, the local name for it, 1840, and it was constructed to house just 60 inmates. As of 8 o'clock this morning, we have at Her Majesty's Prison 184 inmates, 22 of which are on the island of Nevis, and 162 in Her Majesty's Prison in Bastille. So you see, we are somewhat overcrowded at this time. We have taken proactive measures very early at Her Majesty's Prisons. Since the 22nd of March, we stopped all visits to Her Majesty's Prison, and so the general public had no access to our inmates. And so this was the major proactive steps that we would have taken to minimize or prevent any contamination at Her Majesty's Prison. The inmates and the staff were also educated about the COVID-19 virus and how it can be transmitted. And so we had doctors came into the prison and had some sessions with both the inmate and the staff. And so this was one of the major things that we have done to educate the inmates and to have them, to reassure them how we're going to prevent the virus from being transmitted into Her Majesty's Prison. We also began putting protocols in place in that we had general cleaning in Her Majesty's Prison. We would have sanitized the entire compound. And so the staff members, we thought that the staff members would have been the ones who would probably get the prison contaminated because they would be traveling, going in and out of the prison. And so we educated the staff that they have to continue to sanitize and do their little bit at home so that when they return to the prison, they do not contaminate the prison. So these were some of the proactive measures that we did put in place very early. We were able to source a thermometer to check the temperature of the staff when they enter the prison also. So these were some of the proactive measures that we would have put in place very early to prevent the contamination of Her Majesty's Prison. On the 25th of March, I would have participated in a video conference with all the heads of the prisons and correctional facilities in the Caribbean region. And the major discussion from that video conference was the COVID-19. And so we met and we discussed and see what would be the best practices that we can implement in order to prevent the virus from entering our prison. It was a consensus by all of the heads of the prison that one of the things we can do immediately is to release inmates because the prisons are overcrowded, and so we had a consensus by all heads that we can have an early release of inmates who are non-violent and inmates who are closing in on their sentence, ending of their sentence. So we were able to do that. We have some countries like Trinidad, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda. They had already released inmates from their prisons. We would have formulated a list of inmates who were nearing their sentencing, and so these are persons that we could have. I had recommended to be released from Her Majesty's Prison. So, but there's a process that we have to follow. There's not an automatic that they would have been released. There's a process that we would have to go through. Their name would have been recommended. They would have to be taken back to the court, and so there was a process that has to be followed for this to take place according to our laws in our federation. All right. We have been in touch. I have been in touch with my other counterparts in the region, and so far as of today, the 6th of May, none of the English-speaking territories, of the prisons in the English-speaking territories, have any infection of the COVID-19. So all of the prisons in the English-speaking territories, so good so far that none of those prisons, whether inmate or staff, has contracted the coronavirus, and so we are thankful for that. And I do not want Her Majesty's Prison in St. Kitts to be the first to have any COVID-19 cases, and so we are trying our best at Her Majesty's Prison. I want to commend my staff there at Her Majesty's Prison. They have been doing a good job so far, and I must commend the inmates there. The inmates there at Her Majesty's Prison, they understand what is happening, and so they felt that they are safe inside the prison at this time until things are somewhat back to normal. And so they are thankful for the procedures that was put in place to keep them safe during the lockdowns. And so we are still in a lockdown mode there at Her Majesty's Prison. We still have not opened up for any visits to Her Majesty's Prison. Until I get that green light from the NEOC, Mr. Abia Samuel, and the Chief Medical Officer, we are still in lockdown mode at Her Majesty's Prison until we think that it is safe for us to open back up for visit to the prison. So for the time being, the inmates are safe at Her Majesty's Prison, the staff are safe at Her Majesty's Prison, and we continue to sanitize and to keep everything there at a standstill so that we do not have any contamination inside Her Majesty's Prison. Thank you.